Well, that is Georgia's song on 5 Live. Delighted to say that Ilse Fieldsend rejoins us on the programme. Lovely to talk to you again, Ilse.
Hi, Ilse.
Hi, delighted and honoured that you have me back on BBC Radio 5 Live. Thank you so much, especially a day after Georgia's 5th birthday. It means more to me than you can imagine, so thank you.
Oh, well, it's great to have you on again. I know it must be a very emotional time for you. What gave you the idea for the song, Ilse?
At Georgia's funeral last year on the 11th of January, Sophie and Ali Boko Ingram, friends of Georgia, they knew her since she was a little baby, they performed this song. They wrote it after saying goodbye to Georgia in the hospital. They performed this song, Ali played the piano, Sophie sang, and it was just so beautiful that I thought it had potential to do something with it. I'm very well aware Sophie and Ali wrote it for themselves to help them get over or cope with what happened to Georgia, and they wanted to give it as a gift to Georgia and to myself and James and Joshua. But I just asked them if I could use the song because I thought it had huge potential, because I want to raise awareness for organ donation. And basically, Ellie goes to St John's School. It was recorded there, so thank you very much. And that's how it started. I had it on CD. And then Fiona Locke, a freelance journalist, she helped me with finding Julian Close and Ian Colonel, music producer and a music executive. They got me and Sophie pro bono in a Strong Room Studios in London. We got it re-recorded.
Brilliant.
Which is the song you've just heard. And it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon and HMV Digital, and it's a tribute to Georgia for her 5th birthday from me, from James, from Joshua, from the Georgia team, and it's less than £2. And for less than £2, you are raising funds for an intensive care unit at King's College Hospital, which is where Georgia was the last few days. You also raise awareness for the importance of organ donation. You get 2 versions of the most beautiful song, which you've just heard, and you actually, for less than £2, could potentially help to save a life. So I think that's a pretty good bargain for Georgia's song. And I kind of strongly felt it wasn't good enough because I didn't know I was going to get help from wonderful radio stations like yourself, etc., to get the word out there. So I wanted a video to go with it to try and get the song to go viral. And that's where Andrew McKay and Jamie Hobbes, they're filming of photography and creative directors, and Dan Moran, he's lighting and shading in London. They pretty much pro bono so kindly made this most beautiful video, and we very much wanted Georgia in it, Georgia's footage, a teddy bear, and a very strong message at the end that Georgia saved lives and that you can do it too if you would only just discuss it with your loved ones in advance. So that's a YouTube video which I released exactly at 0902 yesterday, which is 5 years ago when our beautiful Georgia was born.
Ilse, I know it's difficult for you to talk about this, but it's such a positive campaign which came out of such a horrible situation. Can you, for those that didn't listen to the interview first time round, can you just remind our listeners this afternoon of who Georgia was able to help when you made that decision to donate her organs?
Yeah, absolutely. Georgia was 3 years, 7 months, 15 days, and she collapsed very suddenly on Christmas Day. In my arms, she struggled to breathe, and there was no hope. Things happened in Egypt, and then back at King's College Hospital, where we made the decision. James and myself had the talk about donating her organs, and my message is, please do not have that discussion at the intensive care unit. Talk about it at home with your loved ones, and express your wishes. And we find out that Georgia saved a newborn, a baby, and a teenager on New Year's Eve. So prior to switching Georgia's of the life support, we knew she was going to save 2 lives that same day. And we found out the next day that they were out of critical care and that they were doing well. After that, we find out that Georgia also saved another newborn baby and a teenager. Those 4 children were saved with Georgia's kidneys and her liver and her heart valves. And then we found out after that Georgia saved. In fact, she gives sight to 2 young adults by donating her eyes, which means you donate her corneas, which gives the gift of sight. It was very hard to tick all the boxes, but it was the right thing to do, because Georgia has saved lives out there, and what greater legacy that Georgia can leave behind our daughter than saving lives and stop parents and people out there not feeling the pain we feel every day. So I know that if I would have been on the receiving end, if I could have saved Georgia by accepting an organ, I would have been first in line. But that wasn't the case. So I'd like to tell everybody out there that's listening, if your child or your loved one was to collapse in your arms or dying in front of you, ask yourself the question, would you accept an organ to save your child, to save your loved one? Would you be first in line to accept that organ to save their life so they do not die in front of you? If the answer is yes, then please discuss it, talk about it, think about it. If you're not ready to sign the register, then don't. If you are, then great. But most of all, also express it with your loved ones, because I would like to tell you very much there's a mother who got in touch with me after a Good Morning Britain interview, and her daughter died only 7 weeks ago. That's Erin Buran. Erin, she's like Georgia, 5 years old, beautiful and blonde. She only died 7 weeks ago, very, very suddenly. They still don't know the cause. And Erin saved 4 lives. Now, what happened with Erin is extraordinary. Her mother got in touch with me, wanting to help with raising awareness and buying Georgia's song. But she told me that Erin watched an advert on TV, and she asked what it was about. Her parents said it was about organ awareness. And Erin's words were, at the age of 5, Mama, or Mummy, if something happens to me, please, can you give my body away so I can save children too? So for Erin's parents, they told me it was an easy decision, because their 5-year-old, completely healthy, not knowing that she was going to die, not being sick at all, had told her parents that she wanted to donate her organs. And I mean, I was so touched. I carry Erin in my heart too, like Georgia, and I always will. And I think if a 5-year-old can do that, so can we. And I know not everybody's ready, and that's okay. But maybe with the song, maybe with the beautiful video, maybe with a message at the end of the video, you will just at least remember Georgia's story and think about it.
Ilse, it's a pleasure to talk to you again on 5 Live, and you might be very interested to know that some people are already saying they've just downloaded it from iTunes already. So Georgia's song is on iTunes. You said it's on Amazon as well, and all that money goes.
Yeah.
Where does it go, Ilse? Just remind us.
It goes to the Thomas Cook Ward. It's literally a children intensive care unit at King's College Hospital, where Georgia was. So it's a children intensive care unit.
Well, all the best. Ilse, thank you so much for coming on the radio, and we really wish you the best for the campaign.
Thank you very much. Good